today I'm gonna show you how to do a quick tile repair. They had a wine rack hanging up there and it looks like a bottle of wine fell and just smashed a couple tiles. It's like tile surgery. Hey guys, Frankie Martinez here with How to Tile Like a Pro. And today I'm gonna show you how to do a quick tile repair. We are here at my friend's house and they're about to put this house on the market. Got Harley, their dog, here hanging out with me. And they had a wine rack hanging up there and it looks like a bottle of wine fell and just smashed a couple tiles. So when you want to knock these two tiles out, the first thing you want to do is take the grout out. Completely take the grout out. And I mean completely, not just a little bit. You want to take all the grout out around the tiles surrounding the one you're going to hit, because when you hit this with a hammer or whatever you use to pop it out, you don't want that vibration to vibrate this tile or this tile next to it. So if the grout is completely out, it's gonna give a little space so that it does not impact the tile surrounding it at all. It's like tile surgery, so it works really good. The tool I like to use, if it fits, is this is a oscillating multi-tool. This is DeWalt's that I use, and this is a cool carbide tip. So it's made, they're a little pricey, maybe about 30 bucks, almost a bit, but they work great for getting grout out, cement, mortar, thin set, all kinds of stuff like that. So I'm gonna show you how I use it. Luckily this one fits in between this joint. If it didn't fit in this grout joint, I would use something else. And sometimes this vibrates a lot and you don't want it to chip the tiles, so actually, let me see, this guy. I'll try it right here on this joint right here, since these two are coming out, and if I notice it's gonna chip it, I will switch to this round tool, because this round tool is smoother and it just goes back and forth like that, and it won't chip like this one. So let's try this one first, and if it doesn't work, we'll use this one. See that since this one's rounded, it's not gonna get the corners, so this one's gonna be good for the corners. Let's check it out. All right, so I don't know if you can see there. I'll put this light here on. But if you can see, I can see all the way down to the subfloor. So I know the grout is completely out. It didn't look like it vibrated too much to chip the tile, so I might just use this guy. Got to be careful around the corners there. But I mean, it took the grout out all the way down, so looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of it here. If you notice, I am leaning this tool against this tile like this. So if it does chip at all, it'll chip this one and not this guy. So just a little side tip there. I think we're good here, but I just wanted to show you, this grout seems to be breaking off real nice, but if you do need to get in that corner there, obviously this guy's vibrating back and forth like that. So if you get too close, it's gonna start hitting that baseboard. So what I use is one of these Dremel bits. It's actually a Dremel Carbide bit, and I don't have my Dremel with me, so I just put it on a cordless drill, and it works just the same. It's a little slower than the Dremel, but it does the job for some minor little detail like this. So as you can see, I could get in there really nice, past there without damaging that. All right, good. The other side there, what we got. Again, the more you make sure you take the grout out, the better you're gonna be at not chipping other tiles. So there you go. I usually don't bring the Dremel with me because I just got tons of tools that I'm carrying. It's the less tools I gotta carry, the better. So I always carry a few of these Dremel Carbide tips in my cordless drill case. For little details like this, comes in handy. Of course, if I have a lot more to do, I will bring my actual Dremel. But in this case, it worked perfect. So now we just got two more joints, this one and this one. Take out the grout, then we'll be able to pop them out. All right, so this one's actually a little easier to do because it's already broken. As you can see, these tiles are already coming up. Obviously, if you have these joints already cut out, you could actually probably just grab a hammer and just smack it, break it into pieces, and then chip it out. What I like to do is grab my grinder, which has a wheel similar to this guy, and I will actually just cut a slit like right in the middle of the one I'm gonna cut out. Just cut a slit in there just like that, big enough for this to fit in. And then once I have the slit, I could just put this in here, chip it out, and I'll be able to pull it out, which is probably a little easier to do than using the, just smacking it, you know, because just breaking it with a hammer in the middle, it's just going to, you don't really have control of what's going to happen, and you still got to get the piece out even if it's broken like this one. So putting a slit in it is the best way to do it, because you just need it big enough to get this guy. So grab a grinder and pop that out. But in this case, since it's already I got an opening here, I'm just going to pop this out right here, just like this. Let's start with this one. Okay, this guy here. So once you get under it, you just keep going for it with a chisel. Looks like this one's gonna come out in pieces. You can see the mesh of the backer board underneath here. Pretty good bond, so that's a good sign for the rest of the floor. Sometimes if it's a cheap bond, once you vibrate it, the whole thing will come off, but it's on there pretty good. So the rest of their floor should be fine. I think I have a bigger chisel. Let me see. Where did it go? Let's just go with what we got then. On there pretty good. All right, so now that's out of the way, all we have left is the thin set. So there's a couple ways you can go about taking off the thin set. You can get, if it comes out nice, you could just get a hammer and chisel, chipping hammer, I mean, and chip it out. But since we're putting a new tile in anyway, all it needs to come out is it just needs to be a little lower. If it's bonded well, see these are loose, but this is bonded well, this is bonded well. So all you need to do is get it lower than the new tile. So what I like to use is this guy. You can't see it too well because it has thin set mortar dried up from using it a lot. It's a great addition to your multi-tool. It is carbide, but it's made for grinding down. What I love about it is it doesn't produce a lot of dust like a 4.5-inch grinder would. And this guy just goes, let me put on my gear, protective gear, and then you could just grind it down the spots here. Works really well, watch. So here we go, this spot here. As you can see, not too much dust, and look at that, it just grinded it down right where you need it. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the vac just to get that dust out of the way, and I'm gonna go ahead and just show you how I do it to get all this down. See, I didn't take it completely off, watch, let me show you. You can still see some thin set there, but it's low enough for the new tile to fit without this making it pop up. So check it out. I'm going to go ahead and do this whole area with this tool. Alright, before I go on, you can see the height difference here. This one is a lot higher than this. It's so it grinds it down really easy, really fast. Not too much dust, not same amount of dust as if you use a regular grinder, cupping wheel or something like that. But that's all we need right here. This is clean this up with a sponge. It'll be ready for tile. So let me finish this whole thing. What's really cool about this shape too is that since it's a triangle shape, it fits right in these corners really good to grind really well. Pretty cool tool to have. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check them out, but I definitely think this is one that you want to have handy. This one, the carbide tip, and this one. These are the ones you want to have along with this carbide Dremel bit. I'll put links to all those in the description because you definitely want to have these handy. They come handy a lot when you're doing demo, repair work, detail work. It's pretty cool. All right, so now that we got that ready, the next thing you want to do before you set your tile is, you can see, if you look closely, there's a little bit of grout on this side of the tile because I put the tool leaning on this side. I don't like to use the tool on this side because this tile does not, I don't want to pull this tile up. This tile's got to stay. So I just usually use a knife, do it by hand so it's a little more gentle. Run it across there and you can see it's easily just makes that grout fall off. Since the grout isn't a strong bonding agent, it's not a bonding agent, so it usually comes off with just a little scrape. So I'm gonna go ahead and just grab all these edges. You can see that grout line just coming right off, just like that. Of course, be careful going this way. You don't want to strike this tile, so go back this way. And there you go. So now the edge, the grout is off the edge, so when you put the new grout in, it's not gonna look nasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that everywhere right now. All right, so now we're ready to put the new tiles in. What I wanna do is we gotta cut them first. So this is about 12 3/4. What we wanna do is we wanna cut the tile to go just a little bit under the baseboard. Not a lot, but just a little bit. So it's about 12 3/4. So I'm just gonna cut these to say 12 7/8. That plus the grout joint should be enough to tuck under there. Let me see if this is the same. Yep, so 2 at 12 7/8. All right, got my cutting board set up here. These tiles right there. Let's see. Eights. Got my Ruby speed board here, along with dog barking. All right, let's put this in here. Beautiful. All right, these are ready. So we got these tiles cut, and as you can see, oops, let me put this down. And as you can see, they fit right under there, really nice. So we got the tiles ready. Let's go ahead and get a damp sponge. I always want to get the dust off. Look at all that dust. Especially because we grinded a little bit, but you always want to get the dust off because dust is a bond inhibitor. It will not give you the best bond. You don't want to stick your tile to a layer of dust. All right, here we go. When you do this, always flip the sponge over. You only get 2 passes with each sponge. You don't just transfer, you don't want to just transfer the dust, you want to take it off. All right, that's good to go. Got some thin set here. What you want to do is put in a burn coat here, especially since we have an uneven surface due to the thin sets being slightly higher in certain areas. So I'm gonna get a good burn coat. Grout, just thin set. Might have got wet. Okay, in the bag. All right, so got a nice burn coat. should be able to do nice trowel marks here. I like 1/4 inch trowel just to account for a little bit of thin set being up already on there. So let's try that. That's more like a strong trowel. It used to be a 3/8 trowel. So it's just like a weak 3/8 trowel. All right, there we go. Okay. Go ahead and back butter these tiles. Yeah. All right, so, and since this is a slight little repair here, oh, and I could feel it. I was gonna pull it up, but I could feel it's plenty of thin set, so might even be too much. Might have to peel a little bit off there. Let's see this. There we go. And look at that. So, when you're doing stuff like this, you can check it. And what you see underneath the tile is showing you what is happening. So, as you can see, here we have great bond. And here we don't. So since the tile was a little high, what I'm going to do is pull some of this off here where it looked like it was touching a lot, because that way, that's the areas that was touching a lot. These areas weren't touching, so since I need to lower the tile, that showed me which section needs to be trimmed a little bit. So now when I push it down, it should bond a lot better. So I don't want to add too much here because it did need to go lower. So I don't want to have the same problem. Let's put it on and see what it looks like. Let's see it better. All right. Now remember, I still have these chunks on the back, so I didn't adjust that because I just wanted to go slightly lower. That looks like it's going to be a good fit there. Yep, much better fit. That's right about where I would want it. So now, let me show you. I'll peel it up just to show you how it fit good. Ooh, it's tough to get off. Don't want to go too rough because you don't want to pop it or crack it. I mean, break it. Come on, baby. There we go. And now you can see that we do have great coverage going on everywhere. So that is how you fix things like that. You can kind of see where I see over here could use maybe a little bit more. But other than that, the thin set on the back of the tile kind of shows you what needs to happen, where you need to add more or take some away. Only because it's a uneven surface, so there you go. Sometimes even though it doesn't have thin set, you still got to check that. All right. So this one is good. Ready for grout. I'm using VersaBond thin set here over Hardy Backer. You can see I had Hardy Backer under there. So the combination of VersaBond, which is actually a little more thicker drying than other thin sets. So the combination of VersaBond with Hardy Backer it makes it, it's almost like a speed set combination. So what I'm gonna do is stick these, we'll grab some lunch, go pick up the grout at the store, and then it should be ready, dry enough to grout it for repair. All right. Okay, so now let's check this guy here. Stick this one in. Same deal. This one's going to be harder to lift up because I'm not going to be able to get under it, but let's see how it fits here. Okay, so it's a lot, it's a little too much. Let me see. If you have a suction cup, you could peel this up without chipping it. Might have one in my truck, but I'm gonna try to go here. There we go. There we go. Okay. So that is super high here. Nothing here. So let's move this here. Adding a little bit just where we need it so I don't have to peel it up again. All right. All right, let's try it again. Still a little high, but we're just gonna have to squeeze this thin set down and make it work. All right. At least by smooching it down like this, we'll make sure we're getting a good bond. Definitely want to make sure you get the thin set low enough in the joints so that you don't have to clean it later when you want to grout. Good enough there, ready for grout after lunch. All right, we are ready to grout it up. Found a color that I thought matched as best as possible. We don't know exactly what color this is. Should be a pretty good fit. All right, we'll let that set up just a little bit so it can be ready to wipe. That should be good enough to wipe. There we go. nice diagonal wipes. You never want to wipe in the same direction as your joint. So since these are straight set, you want to wipe it diagonally, once on each side of the sponge. And we're almost there. Alrighty, and there you have it. The repair is done and ready to go. Wasn't too bad. Alright, so I hope this video helped you out. Make sure you like and subscribe to see more great tile content. Again, I put the link to those bit pieces for the multi-tool. If you want to check those out, we'll see you next time on How to Tile Like a Pro. Thanks for watching. Bye.